Welcome to Live, the podcast. I'm really glad that you're here, and this is a space where we slow things down a little, a space where we don't try to be perfect or have all the answers. It is just a space to think, to feel, and understand ourselves a bit better. Today, we are talking about something that touches all of us in one way or another: love, passion, and the way we relate to each other in today's world. But this is not from a place of judgment. This is not from a place of right or wrong, but from a place of kindness and curiosity. So, whatever you are right now, just take a moment to arrive here. And I need to tell you that you don't need to fix anything. You don't need to change anything. Just listen. In today's world, love feels easier to find than ever before. We can talk to people instantly. We can meet someone new in seconds. We can feel connected very fast. And yet, many people still feel confused when it comes to love. Sometimes even lonely. And that creates an interesting question. If we are more connected than ever, why does love feel more complicated? Maybe the answer is that connection is not the same as closeness. We can talk to many people and still not feel truly understood. We can be in contact all the time and still feel emotionally distant. And that is something that many people experience today, even if they don't always say it out loud. Love itself is not simple. We often think love is just a feeling that happens, something that arrives suddenly and either works or it doesn't. But in reality, love is more like something we learn over time. A psychologist named Erich Fromm say that love is not just a feeling, but something that we practice, something that takes care, attention, and patience. And that idea is important because it changes how we see relationships. It means that love is not only about what we feel in the beginning, but also about what we build after that. And now let's talk about passion, because passion is usually where everything starts. Passion feels strong, it feels exciting, it feels fast. When we feel passion for someone, we often think about them a lot. We feel a pull towards them. We feel energy, attraction, curiosity. And there is nothing wrong with that. Passion can be beautiful. But passion can also be confusing, because sometimes what feels like a deep connection is actually just intensity. And intensity is not always the same as stability. Something can feel very strong in the beginning and still not be right for us in the long term. But in the moment, it is easy to mix those things. Because, strong emotions can make everything feel meaningful, even when we don't fully understand what is happening yet. And this is where many people get caught in patterns. You might notice that sometimes we go through similar experience in different relationships, different people, but the same emotional feeling. Maybe the same confusion, the same waiting, the same anxiety, the same push and pull. And this is not random. Psychologists talk about something called attachment patterns. So, this idea, developed by John Bowlby, explains that the way we learn how to connect with others early in life can also make an influence in how we relate in adult relationships. For example, how comfortable we are with closeness, how we react when someone pulls away, how we behave when we feel unsure, and many of these reactions happen automatically without us fully noticing. So sometimes we are not just reacting to the person in front of us, but we are also reacting to all feelings from the past. And that can make relationships feel more complicated than they are. In modern life, there is also something else that affects how we relate. So we live in a world with many options, many conversations, many possibilities, many ways to connect. And while this can be and feel exciting, it can also make relationships feel less stable. Because part of our mind is always aware that there might be something else. Someone else, another option, another possibility. And that can make it harder to fully settle into one connection. Not because people don't want love, but because everything moves so fast around us. At the same time, many people struggle with something very human in relationships: the need to feel chosen, to feel important to someone, to feel valued, to feel like we matter in someone else's life. This need is not weakness. It's a natural human need. But when this need becomes too strong, it can change the way that we act in relationships. Sometimes we can try too hard. Sometimes we give too much. Sometimes we stay longer than we should. Sometimes we ignore what we feel just to keep someone close. And slowly we can lose a bit of ourselves in the process. This is why self-awareness is so important in love. Self-awareness simply means being able to notice what is happening inside of you, not to judge it, not to control it, but to understand it. For example, am I feeling calm in this relationship or anxious? Do I feel safe or am I constantly overthinking? Am I being myself or am I trying to be what I think the other person wants? These questions are not about finding perfect answers. They are about noticing patterns. Because once you see something clearly, you start to have more choice in how you respond. Another important part of love is something we don't always talk about: fear. Sometimes what we call love is mixed with fear. Fear of losing someone, fear of being alone, fear of not being enough. And when fear is present, it can change the way we behave, the way we are. We might hold on too tightly. We might overthink everything. We might try to control things that cannot really be controlled. But real love cannot exist in control. Love needs space. It needs trust. it needs freedom, and also need a sense of safety that is not forced but shared. So what does healthy love feels like? It doesn't always feel intense. Sometimes it feels calm. Sometimes it feels simple. Sometimes it feels steady. You don't feel like you are constantly guessing. You don't feel like you are walking on emotional uncertainty all the time. You feel like you can be yourself without fear or without losing the connection. And this is something that not all of us know. This is something that many people learn over time. Because not all relationships that feel strong are actually good for us. And not all relationships that feel calm are boring. Sometimes calm is exactly what safety feels like. In the end, love is not just about finding the right person. It is also about understanding yourself, how you relate, how you react, what do you need, what you are repeating, what you are ready to change. Because the way we love others is deeply connected to the way we treat ourselves. And when we begin to understand ourselves with more kindness, our relationships start to change too. This is not instantly, this is not perfectly, but slowly and honestly, it will start to change. So thank you for being here in this first episode of Live the Podcast. If you take anything from this, let it be this. You are not late in love. You are not too much. You are not behind. You are learning, and that is enough. So we will continue this conversation together, one step at a time, and we will have more episodes about other topics. And yeah, this is one topic that can be for a long time, for a long-term talk. So let me know if you want to continue with this topic. Thank you so much for listening to this. See you.